Welcome back everyone, Zeke here for our 10th episode in this Let's Play series of Resident Evil 4 HD Remastered, even though that sounds like a very long name. Of course, we're going to be continuing our ventures in rescuing the President's daughter in Chapter 3-2, and we are still in the creepy mansion with Salazar, unfortunately. Of course, in the last episode we did manage to take on a new bad guy, the sort of Wolverine with claws, as well as taking on the mutant bugs in the basement, so we've just come out of that. And obviously now we are going to probably one of my favourite areas in Resident Evil 4, which, to have a little bit of a spoiler for what's coming up, we're going to have a maze, or be amazed, hey, and then meet a character we previously thought was dead. No spoiling it just yet. Of course, when we're going down this path, there is going to be some birds on this fountain. You can shoot them from afar if you so wish, and ignore the door we have just run past. We will be coming back to that, and in there you will manage to get the broken butterfly, so there is no point buying that from the merchant, either previous to these videos or later on, because you will get a free broken butterfly from that particular room, but we will need Ashley. So as you can see, this is our first little look at the maze that we're going to have to run through, and of course Salazar isn't going to make things as easy as possible. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to leave a like, comment, share and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. So with their little communique, I will see you at the end of this communication.
Still alive, I see. So, do you like my garden?
I see you've managed to work in a little of your twisted taste here, too.
Sagacious as I am, even I get lost here sometimes. Even if it takes your whole life, you'll never get out. Do you know that no one dies without a cause? You will satisfy the stomachs of my cute pets. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to tie up a few loose ends, like chasing down a couple of rats.
2 rats? If one's Lewis, who's the other? Huh. They're an intruder besides me?
So that was a nice little short talk from Ramon Salazar, obviously telling us that we are going to die in this maze, and you better make sure in this area that either you can run really fast or that you have plenty of ammo, because we're going to face some lovely zombie dogs. The best sort of trick that I find for them is to use sniper rifle bullets, especially if you've been upgrading the power of that going on. They're going to die quite easy, quite simple from it. Worst case scenario, a pistol shot when they're running at you always seems to sort of knock them back for a little bit, and of course, worst case scenario, you can always use your shotgun shells. Now, even though I enjoy the maze, and it is one of my sort of favourite parts in Resident Evil 4, there is certain things that I like a little bit better. I never can find my way around it, like very easily, no matter how many times I've played through this game, and this has probably got to be like my 20th or 30th playthrough of Resident Evil 4, my first actual proper one on the PlayStation 4. I've played for it so many times, it's unbelievable on the PlayStation 2, and I actually have it pretty much on every single console that I own. I never can do the maze without sort of getting lost at least once. And of course, running into that dog just sort of made me realise there that I forgot to mention that the dogs will jump on your face, and they will be sort of hidden about places in the maze, and you really don't want them to get close to you this time, because they have the Las Plagas coming out of their back. So try and keep them at bay as much as possible, and try and shoot them as quickly as possible, otherwise they will get the better of you and pretty much take down your health as quickly as they can. You see, I'm sort of glancing round corners as much as I can. The dogs will sort of come at you from all the directions and jump through the hedges if you go too far. Now, your main aim of this is to get 2 sort of half-moon items. Probably is the best bet to open the door on the other side of the maze, and of course, in typical Resident Evil fashion, there are going to be in chests throughout the maze, and of course, there's going to be other things in this maze that's going to keep us interesting. We then just saw a cat's eye, red cat's eye, which is quite useful because that can be used for masks. And of course dogs will catch up behind you. They're not very smart until you shoot them. This one I thought I'd try and get off my back as quickly as possible, because otherwise it will sort of follow you around the maze and try and eat your face off. And we just saw a little bit of a look at the other dog there, so I'm just backing myself into a corner, equipping the shotgun, and going to try and wait it out. As you can see, that one already has the parasite on its back, so it is going to try and get in close and basically take down our health. And I will admit, they do take down your health quite quickly. I know I've said that twice now. But this is where we get the first moonstone, the first fragment, and that is going to unleash some zombie dogs on us. Well, not necessarily. You can't walk past, as far as I'm aware, you cannot walk past these dogs. So what I tend to do is, if you've made it to this point with the fragment and haven't encountered them, I like shooting them with a rifle, purely because you can normally kill at least one of them, and then they can only come up one way. The worst case scenario is you run past them, they break out, and then they pretty much chase you, which isn't really the best thing, and definitely not the thing that we want going for this. So with them all dead, you're going to have one more running around on the floor. So what's that? 2 shotgun shells, and it's dead. We're going to backtrack a little bit now to where they were hiding, and of course I heard that dog as I came to it. I'm thinking if I break open the thing to my right, he is going to come in, but while it's busy just running backwards and forwards, take this time to reload any guns that you've got, and when you're ready, shoot the dog, which is then going to leap at us. And I am wasting so many bullets today. I've realised that was almost an entire clip of pistol bullets at that dog, where I probably hit about twice, but I can't really complain. Shotgun bullets is definitely needed, and unfortunately the merchant that we will come across in a few minutes' time will not sell us any ammo, because that is what a gun merchant does not do anymore. But running back round to this area, we are going to get some shotgun shells. My only thing is, do not come into this area unless you need that ammo, because you will end up using it, because dogs will spawn behind you. One will come from the fence, and one will come from the sort of way you've just come in. So, as you can see, using the shotgun to keep them at bay, not particularly difficult, but we did pretty much shoot through all the ammo that we just got, which isn't really the best. Coming up here, I'm just scoping them out. Obviously those are the stairs that we came down the first time, and to our right now we'll have the second moon piece, and we can go to the left then for something else. But with the 2 halves of the moon, the moonstone, we can obviously combine those, or go ahead and wait to the door. I'm going to wait to the door. This stage, if you have a grenade, very nice time to throw it. I'm going to try and do my best with the shotgun, and lucky for us, that did manage to take down all of the dogs. Still got 3 more shots in the shotgun. As you can see, the ammo in Resident Evil 4 sort of isn't based on what guns you've got, it's based on what guns you could get. So we have been picking up an awful lot of TMP ammo, even though I don't have the TMP. I wouldn't recommend the TMP, unless you want to sink sort of loads of money into upgrading its power, until it gets to sort of a higher power base. It's not really worth it. I'd much rather stay with a pistol. Your main things is upgrading your shotguns, sniper rifles, and your pistols. Potentially a magnum if you want. Just checking the map there just to make sure that we have got the sort of treasure in the maze, and of course that was the cat's eye that we found. And we're back to this door to combine the moonstones, not the goat's head, and get in, and this is where we'll find out who the other rat is, and see what they have to say for themselves. Spoiler alert now, it is someone who previously we thought was dead, and this should be giving it away quite nicely. Again, I'll go quiet and see you at the end of the cutscene.
Let's try using knives next time. Works better for close encounters.
Leon. Long time no see.
Ada. So it is true.
True? About what?
You, working with Wesker.
I see you've been doing your homework.
Why, Ada?
What's it to you?
Why are you here? Why'd you show up like this?
See you around.
Ada!
So with that lovely reintroduction between Leon S. Kennedy and Ada Wong, who we previously thought was dead, is over. You will finish the chapter, so we are now on the next chapter. Of course. I don't know why I said it like that. And you can go ahead and break all the vases in this room. It's going to have some ammo and potentially some spinel treasures. If you go through this door in front of us, it will lead you on to the next area, and of course there will be another typewriter. So if you forgot to save your progress at the end of the chapter, they always sort of give a typewriter to go ahead. And it is in this particular wardrobe that you will get the mirror with pearls and rubies, and feel free to go ahead and sell that. That isn't combined with anything to make it a little bit better. This little note on the desk is just going to explain how they've lost a sample of Las Plagas, and they're going to obviously try and get Ada Wong to tell them where she's hidden it, get the sample back from her, and then they can go ahead and probably try and kill us all. So, yay, how fun is that? Of course, picking up some rifle ammo. This is where the little Resident Evil 4 capacity clip cheat sort of thing comes in handy. I could reload the rifle, but instead I'm going to upgrade the capacity to 12, so that's going to give me an instant full clip for the rifle, and of course those 2 rifle bullets that I picked up will now be spare. Taking this moment then to sell the TMP ammo, the spinels, the mirror, and anything else that I have floating about. The Velvet Blues, completely forgot about those. As you'll see at this minute, it looks like we've got quite a nice amount of cash, 253,690. Of course, that's going to go up now in a second after he buys it at a high price. But even though that seems quite all well and dandy, when we start getting to upgrading guns in a little bit, that will soon go. And of course, if we ever need health, or indeed a RPG, then that will obviously dissipate quite quickly. Doing my typical inventory management, I like keeping ammo by the selective guns, keeping all my grenades in one situation, one place, and my health items in another. Just find this really easy then when I look at it to know exactly how much I've got at a really quick glance. There will be a nice little chance for you to get your hands on a free RPG coming up, and I will try and show that in this video. So this is quite handy for a couple of the boss fights, so I would thoroughly recommend you following this, and because this will help you out. But if you don't, of course, you can always buy one from the merchant whenever you want. Of course, coming in, these are just going to give you little quotes and everything. You don't need to worry about them, you haven't got to remember them. Pick up all the ammo that you can, and instead of... the only one that you really need to worry about is this one, which basically says, once the bottle breaks, you've got no more glass, and it will come in handy in this particular area. What you need to do is just go ahead and shoot the bottle, which is really strange, because for a painting that actually breaks it and opens up the doorway. But before we go into that room, we are going to obviously go ahead and explore, and you can do this later on in this walkthrough if you want to, but we're going to go ahead and do it now so there's no enemies. And I'm trying to keep this as spoiler free as I possibly can, but you can come back to this room with someone else later on in the game, and it is a nice way to sort of backtrack, because the door at the end of this room actually leads you back out to where we first came in. if that makes any sense. That seemed a bit complicated there. So go ahead then. Completely forgot the snake was in this one. I thought it was actually over there in the bookcase, but unfortunately it wasn't. Go ahead then, break everything, get the spindle, and then break this lock off. And this will take us back to this room, which obviously we had the walkway across that we shot the spindle off the roof, and managed to get by the fountain, by when I said you could shoot the birds to get some extra money or extra items. So with that all cleared, I'm going to run now into this room, and my one recommendation and tip is to make sure that you have a grenade handy. This can be an explosive grenade or an incendiary grenade. I completely forgot. Going to that would actually trigger it. I'm going to go with my one actually explosive grenade and aim it straight at the door. 9 out of 10 times it will actually blow the lock off the door. Sometimes if you've aimed it a little bit too far, a little bit too close, it won't. But pretty much our main aim here is to get the lock off the door as quickly as possible and get out of that room. As you can see, a sort of Wolverine, I honestly never try and remember his name, but the blind Wolverine has spawned down with us, and by chucking that grenade straight away and getting out of the room, you can actually, in relative safety, take him out. Of course, if you are playing this on higher difficulties as well, this becomes a invaluable tip there. Unless you stand really close to the bars like I am, unless he comes over and starts swinging wildly, you cannot be hurt by him. And this is just so easy now. You just zoom in with a rifle if you've got it. I prefer the rifle because, as I mentioned in a previous episode, about 3 shots for the rifle will pop him down. And of course, as I said, this is completely optional. You don't have to do it. You can run into the next room if you so wish. I'm taking him down for the gold and for what's in the treasure box in the middle of the room. Be careful, more enemies will spawn, sort of drop down from above, which will keep us on our toes quite nicely. With that last rifle shot, the Wolverine guy is down. You should have seen that one coming if his eyes weren't sewn shut. And we're going to run straight in there, pick up his gold and the enemy's gold. I'm going to ignore that enemy that dropped down, and we're going to get an hourglass. Yay! So our main thing is actually to go into the doorway, but we're coming back through this way, obviously just where we shot down, just to pick up the Magnum ammo. This can be used in both the Magnum and the Broken Butterfly that we will pick up later on. And then we come to this area, which is absolutely fantastic. And our main aim is to get to a lever that is on the floor, basically in front of us. It's up to you if you want to jump down and take them all out that way. You can, well, you can't go through that door just yet. On higher difficulties, sometimes it's open. I've had run plays where it's open beforehand, and other times where it's been locked shut. But either way, there's going to be quite a few enemies in this area, so I thoroughly recommend take them out one at a time if you can, and of course utilize the top of the ladder trick. Unless they're ranged, they can't hit you at the top of a ladder, and whenever they're climbing up, not only do they take damage from whatever you hit them with, be that your knife, a pistol, a shotgun, or whatever gun, but they also take a tiny amount of fall damage as well, so use that to your advantage. This is going to show us Las Plagas that we haven't seen before, which basically becomes attached to the body. Once you kill the host, it comes out of the head, and will pretty much acts as like a normal enemy then, scurrying around and trying to eat your face off. And it doesn't take a lot to kill it. As you can see there, just a couple of pistol shots and it is down. Never take your eyes off it until it starts shriveling up and disappearing. Always presume that it is not dead. A couple of times, especially with run-throughs on higher difficulties, I thought it was dead. It wasn't. It came back and really hurt me. By pulling that lever, we've activated a bridge above us, and this is where I should have followed sort of my main direction on this. What I tend to normally do is, if you run up the ladder really quickly and over the bridge. You can get through the door over the other side. And that comes in extremely handy then, because there is a oil canister on the ceiling that you can then shoot while standing in the doorway to kill most of the enemies. However, what I actually do in this clip is go ahead and break this open to get the rifle bullets, and completely forget about the oil canister. Because when those shield guys start coming down, they will not drop down to the floor. They will stay on that path above us, and because they will not backtrack or follow you, you now have them stuck at the top of the ladder, which isn't the plan nor the strategy that I was actually going for. And to be honest, I'm silently kicking myself right about now about how I completely forgot about something so simple as that. No matter how many times I play this game, I always do something that I know better. I know I shouldn't have done it. And it's at this stage that I knew I messed up. I should have ran straight across that bridge, shot the oil canister, and then worried about the guys behind us. This is also at the stage that you can get the RPG. It's actually in the room just behind us. I'm trying to be a little bit sneaky now with the incendiary grenades. I know there's 3 shield guys up there. That incendiary grenade actually went through his shield, which is quite weird. And this is another stage that you should never do this. Never ever do what I'm doing now. If there's ever shield guys at the top of a ladder, take them out from afar. I don't care if that's your pistol, I don't care if you TMP them, I don't care if you use rifle bullets. Just take them out before you climb a ladder, otherwise they will just stand there, get a free hit on you as soon as you climb up the ladder, and then basically pummel you to death. This is what I should have done. I should have got my rifle out and went pop, pop, and bang. 3 shots, 3 kills, simple as. Because I was stupid, because I was a little bit cocky, thinking I could do it, I've now just blitzed through 3 incendiary grenades and 3 healing items. I think it was actually 2, now that I've said that, when I didn't need to do it. So don't be me. Don't do what I just did, do what I tell. So we are close to getting the next merchant, the next save location, and for finishing this lovely 10th episode in this Let's Play series of Resident Evil 4. But before I end the video, I am going to just show you where to get the RPG, which is going to be in that glass case just down by there. Be careful, there will be an enemy and an archer. But first, before you do that, especially if you've got loads of items in your inventory at this stage, I do not recommend you picking up the RPGs straight away. Instead, carry on to the merchant that you see just ahead of me, and buy the upgradable attaché case, because this is going to help. It's going to be the extra large, so as you can see that's just expanded the size of the case, and that is going to ensure now that we can fit that RPG in. If you lay it down at the bottom of the case, it will fit, and you do not need to worry. So, without further ado, let's go get that RPG. Not really too sure why I did that in a little bit of a tune, to be honest, but now I'm just going to toggle my inventory just to make sure that I do have enough space. Even though I think with the extra large attaché case I could have actually fit the RPG without doing all this, I'd rather be safe than sorry. So what I'm just going to do is just play a little game of Tetris and put everything there, move my shotgun over, and that should be fine. Yeah, there we go. If I pop it there, that's going to be more than enough. So get rid of that. So the worst case scenario, the only thing I will have to move is my scope, but we should be okay. There's one more enemy there, but I'm not going to waste rifle rounds. You can tell I'm sort of possessive over my rifle rounds. I'd rather not shoot it unless I have to, purely because it is so upgraded at the minute that it is a one-hit kill in the face, or potentially a one-hit kill in the face. Of course, if you don't want to stand and fight the enemies, feel free just to break the glass and then hightail it back to the merchant. Once you're through those doors, unless they manage to sneak in behind you, i.e. follow you in while the doors open, as soon as that door closes, they can't get you, which is always brilliant to see. So, as you can see, it fits snugly in there. I could have actually popped my shotgun just below it, so that is what I'm gonna go ahead and do. Actually, rifle. Yeah, rifle. My shotgun can stay there. Don't overly like that, but never mind. Until I get a bit OCD with my inventory management system, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get that incendiary grenade, that rifle grenade, rifle bullets, not rifle grenade. That'd be quite good. Chuck your rifle grenade! Suplex the enemy, and then I'm just gonna run. It's going to be a door lock. Shoot it off, kick it off, knife it off, do whatever you want to the lock. We're going to continue on. Once we go back to the merchant, now that I know we are safe with the RPG, I will end the episode there. I wanted a nice sort of shorter video today, around about 30 minutes, getting that RPG and finishing it off. Of course, if you enjoyed this 10th episode, please don't hesitate to leave a like, comment, share and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Resident Evil content. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, have a lovely day.